Sara McBull. Welcome, welcome. It's great to have you.
Hey,
Yeah,
hi, thanks for having me.
welcome. We've been on a hell of a journey, haven't we, the last 6 months?
Yeah, big journey, a big part of my life as well.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk a bit about where you were at the beginning when you reached out?
When I reached out to you, I feel like I was in my best space. And I just came across you on TikTok and I just thought, because I always knew there was something missing with me. So I used the term half recovered. So I feel like I had glimpses of relief in my life because I've had this for like 9 years. So in that period, I've had glimpses of relief, but then there's always like a few months of panic attacks, anxiety, and just not feeling my best. Obviously, I worked on myself in those 9 years, and I thought I reached the optimum level that I could. And I was obviously taught through like therapy, like acceptance and all of that. So I kind of just accepted this is the best I'm going to be. Acceptance is accepting I am an anxiety Sara. I am that is me. That's the label I am. So obviously, when I came across your TikTok, I was going through a bit of a bad time, um, and it was Ramadan. So I've shared that with you a number of times. It's a really special time in my religion. So I just took a leap of faith because I just thought it's a blessed time in our year. I'm not going through the best time at the moment, and there's got to be like because I saw other videos of people fully recovered, and for me it's like why am I only half recovered? Why am I only seeing glimpses of it? There must be still something missing. So I obviously took that leap of faith with you. When I say I was at my best, I was doing things, but it would involve safe people 24/7, not managing stress very well. If it was like certain timings that are involved, just being very rigid in my routine, anything can throw me off track, basically. I wasn't very flexible or spontaneous. And also, I didn't have any trust in my body or any sense of safety. That's what's really scary when I think about it, because when I say to you I was my best at that point, it's really hard sometimes to think how was I walking around because I had no safety in my body. I had 100% reliance on everyone else's reassurance around me. So it was things like I could do things with people, but when I would be doing them, I would go for anxiety, but it would always be everyone else's job to reassure me, guide me. And I just thought that's my life now. Like I'm just anxious Sarah. Like I can do things, but it's a struggle, and that's just how it is for me now. When I saw you, that's when I reached out to you.
Yeah. And I remember you could do things like going to the shopping centre, going on short drives, but you'd have to be with one of your family members or one of your friends. And I remember you said to me, I can't leave my estate, I can't cross the road opposite my house. And I was surprised because you were going to Westfield or you were going to shopping centers with your family. But then that's when I figured out that your problem, your biggest issue at the time was not being able to be independent and going and doing things yourself without the fear of fainting, fear of having a panic attack or freaking out. Do you want to talk a bit about your limitations at the time? I mentioned one of the things there, and obviously limitations being not being able to do things by yourself. What were some of your limitations? Uh,
I wouldn't be able to obviously do things like going on a walk. So I work from home currently. So it would be out of the question for me on my lunchtime to walk around my estate by myself too far from my door. I wouldn't actually go downstairs to my car. Like there's a bunch of stairs to go down to my driveway. I don't think I had the confidence really to really go downstairs by myself without a flashing image of something dreadful will happen to me if I go down these stairs, or I'll lose control, or I'll get dizzy or something. So things like that, like just doing small basic tasks like going by myself. Um, or if I was with someone, it would be a case of me linking their arm or holding their hand if it's like a road or something. And I'm obviously like an old adult, like I'm not a child. So it was behaving very like a child in that sense. I couldn't get like bread and milk. There's shops nearby and everything. I wouldn't just be able to go and get it myself. Just doing things by myself, even if like going inside a shop if someone's waiting outside, again, I wouldn't be able to do that. Not because I didn't want to, but because my nervous system and my body would always put up this big defense of fire and dizziness. And that's what would stop me from doing it. Forget doing that because it's just going to cause a panic attack if I go in. So obviously, I would just not do it. And I just made myself believe I clearly just need to be with someone all the time.
why did you believe that at the time?
when I was with people, they would be the voice of reassurance and the one to ground me. I didn't have any ability to ground myself. I didn't have any anchor points in my own body. I didn't have any useful mental narrative. I didn't know how to detach from negative mental narrative. I didn't recognize the voice that comes from within. So it's quite scary when you don't have a voice telling you you'll be okay. It's really, really torturous when you have a voice telling you 24/7 you're gonna faint, something bad's gonna happen. You have this bully inside your head 24/7. That's why I just felt like doing things with people, even if I did panic, someone will get me out of it. It wasn't a case of, oh, I can do it myself, I can regulate myself. I didn't know it was a thing to be able to do that. I thought my nervous system had gone beyond that. I just thought that part, that I missed that opportunity to really heal that part. So a lot on safe people and safe behaviours. So just always carrying things with me for made up emergencies. When I experience a lot of adrenaline or dizziness when I'm outside, I associated that to like lack of energy. And in my past, a long time ago, people used to say to me when I had panic attacks, have a fizzy sweet or have a fizzy drink or something to give you a little bit of energy. So over the years, I've amplified that in my mind so that everywhere I was walking around, I would literally carry like there would always be some safety snacks in my bag or sugar. But it got to the point where the bag's getting bigger. Every few days, that bag's getting bigger. There's one more snack going in that bag to the point where I will not go out for lunchtime. I won't go out for dinner anymore. I would have my dinner at home and then meet the group of people after because I just thought your life just becomes revolved around those limitations basically when you're living that way. And things that start off small start becoming eccentric and very irrational. Saying it now feels really irrational, but at that time it's so real. Like your life depends on all those behaviors you're doing.
I remember meeting your mum and dad, and they were talking a lot about what your life used to look like. I know what really stuck out to me. I mean, your mum told me loads of things, right? Over
Yeah.
9 years of your struggles. And she said the thing that stood out to me, and we've talked about it since, your mum used to park outside your work when you go to work. If your mum drove away, that would be massively triggering for you. That's the extent to which you became reliant on your family just to feel safe.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to highlight that because
Oh.
that's really, really important. And I was going to ask you a question on that subject. Why do you think that there is? I've got it back. Why do you think
Mhm.
what you did with your therapist? Because you worked with a therapist for I think 3 years, right?
Yeah, on and off. So in my 9 years, first of all, I worked with a CBT therapist for a few months, but I feel like that wasn't very helpful for me. That just wasn't the right approach for me. Then I gave up with therapy. I just went to medication because it got a struggle to live. Like I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do these things. At that time, I didn't know about all of this other type of somatic healing and all of that. So when I spoke to the doctor, he just gave me a medication just so I could get up for the day and carry on and do what I need to do. So I did that. Lived life like okay. That's what I mean. It was up and down. But then I
Yeah.
got married 4 years ago, and then I moved from Bristol to London because I was away from my safety blanket of my family, my friends, my familiar hometown. That triggered a lot of panic attacks in my first year of marriage, where my husband suggested you need some sort of help because this is quite intense. It was putting a strain on our relationship as well. I got in touch with a hypnotherapist and I had her for 3 years. She was amazing. She is really, really good. I know people have had some bad experiences with therapists, but she was really good in healing my past trauma and kind of getting at peace with it. But again, there was always just that hole of there's something still missing because I'm still experiencing it every few months. I'm still experiencing deep panic and I still don't have that voice in me. So that was obviously you, the missing piece.
Yeah, yeah, but you obviously did a lot of work to heal the health trauma and everything else you've been through in the past. But there was that missing piece of developing your own self-trust to go and do exposures, to go and live life independently. And that's where I came in, isn't it?
I think my therapist respected my boundaries in terms of she was mentally going deep into like what I fear and she would obviously encourage me, but she would kind of say not to push me too much either. So kind of resistant of maybe feeling certain things. So in a way it's good because it's just like pacing yourself.
Yeah.
But I think for me, after doing that for 3 years, it was getting to a point where, yeah, but why is this gap still not getting filled? Why is there still this very, very big fear that I have? So when I spoke to you, it was like you gave me a different context. You kind of explained to me, you need to feel it, you need to go all in, like it's time just to face it, like what you're afraid of. So I think that was the part that I needed, just that extra push, and just knowing that it's totally safe to feel to heal. That's like what I've learned. Like you need to feel it to heal it.
100,000%. Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
What was that shift like from a therapist not really pushing your boundaries, not really putting the heat on you to go further in the car, to go out by yourself? What was that transition like working with me, where I would overtly say, Sarah, you need to carry on, you need to push on, you need to get hold of your mind right now, your nervous system. I remember the first few drives we did together, we did some exposures on Zoom, right, in the car. That was quite an experience for you, right?
Yeah, I think the main difference is like I needed the therapy for my internal work, but when it reached its limit of the internal work's pretty much done, again, I was still a little bit at a standstill of what do I do next? Like how do I put this into play? Because I feel like when I joined you, I knew a lot of knowledge, but I didn't know how to put it into practice. I told you a lot about my body and my system, and I understand all of the like the feelings and stuff, but I didn't know how to put it into practice. So I feel like the push you gave me introduced me to pushing literal like limitations I have, and actually challenging them in real life. So that was something I wasn't doing. I was still living in the limitations with the right mental talk, but I wasn't actually crossing the bridge and facing the limitations and kind of grabbing them by the neck and like looking at them. I wasn't doing that part. So I think when I did that with you, it was just an eye opener of I am capable of doing it. It's not a non-territory like zone. I am supposed to go there. I kind of always saw it as like a zone of, yeah, it's a bit of a blurry zone over there. You shouldn't really go there. You can train yourself and just look at it, but you shouldn't really go to it. But I feel like with you, you literally plonked me right in the middle of it, locked me there until I was best friends with it.
And you did really well. Do you want to talk a bit about where you are now? Obviously, from if we zoom out and we look at how much your life has changed, you went on holiday to Turkey a few months ago with your husband, the first holiday in years.
Yeah.
You drove all the way to your sister's, which is around 30 minutes in the car, which is just
Hmm.
to do that by yourself is quite the feat. And as well as just you're just not operating from the same fearful paradigms. You're not carrying the safety bag around. You're going to the gym. All these things you're doing independently now. Do you want to just
Hmm.
talk a bit?
Yeah, so my family were telling you that they call me 360. So that's like my new nickname. I've done a major change. So obviously there are things I still have to do because that's just life. There's always going to be the next step that I have to do, but I'm really confident in the recipe of like how to approach things. Where I am now is like the main thing for me is it's not even about big exposures like going to Turkey. Like, yeah, these are good things I've done, but the main thing for me is waking up and recognizing the voice that wakes me up, and trusting that voice and knowing, okay, I'm not alone. Like I've got me, I've got my self-assurance now. Not waking up with a knot in my stomach every single day or anticipating what's this week gonna hold, what thing is life gonna throw at me this week that I can't handle. So I think for me, like the main things before all of the physical exposures is just the safety and the relationship I have with myself. My mental narrative is completely changed. Like I actually gaslight myself into things that I'm not doing at the moment. I was extremely negative before. I'm extremely purposely positive now. So I'll just speak, even if it's not real, like, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. I'm very like open. I will always say yes to anything now. I don't say no. Before it was like, if someone asks me something, it's straight away, no, I can't do that. No, I can't handle that. Now it's always, yeah, of course I can. And until that day comes and proves me wrong, I won't say no anymore. So all of that mental narrative is completely changed. And obviously, in a physical way, it's things like going to the shops alone, being able to go into the shop while someone waits outside if they're with me, going on walks alone, going to gym classes alone. So I cancelled my membership last year because I couldn't even go with my safe people. So I would take people with me to do classes, but I would still panic in the classes. So I just cancelled my membership and then I used to work out at home. But then it would be a case of someone has to be around at home because something might happen to me.
Wow.
Now I can go to the gym and do my classes alone and enjoy it. And I come every time I go to my classes, I feel so much stronger. it proves every time I go that my body can handle feelings. It has energy. It doesn't just run out. That's like a big thing that I've learned about my body. It's the anticipation as well, just knowing it's complete crap. So all the negative anticipation I have, I basically know that it means it's gonna be double positive. All of that stuff is really, really key, like to my transformation. So obviously it enabled me to go on a plane, go to Turkey, just go out alone, go out with my friends. I've been avoiding going out with my friends because they weren't my safe people, because safe people to me are people that are with me 24/7, not just glimpses in a few weeks. Just recently just been out with my friends, and they say to me like, oh, we've got our friend back, and it's really nice. You don't realize when you're not well how like you impact everyone else around you as well. And it's not in a way like to feel bad, but naturally it affects relationships. People do miss how you were. And as much as you miss yourself as well, but you do impact everyone around you. Now, when I'm meeting people, everyone's saying to me, I sound so good, I sound so confident, I look so much more at ease. I bring like a different energy with me. That's why I've transformed as a person completely.
That's amazing. And that makes me so happy that you have reunited with your friends, you've reignited the connection. It's true what you said, you're not doing it on purpose, you're not doing it from a selfish point of view, you're doing it from a survival point of view, but naturally it
Mm.
affects how much time you spend with your friends. And to hear that you're reigniting the flame that you've had with them and the connection, that means a lot.
This is to everyone around me. Main thing, obviously, with myself, just being able to have goals and aspirations now in the future, knowing that I can handle it because no matter how intense the anxiety may feel, I know how to navigate that. I know how to convert that into like positive energy and to use it to my advantage to make a situation work out for me, basically.
And do you think that's what's been the transformation? It's not going to Turkey, it's not going to meeting your friends for the first time. It's the self-trust that you've gained, the ability to feel the fear, feel the symptoms, experience the thoughts of worst outcomes, handle it yourself and reframe it and regulate your way out of it. Do you think that's what's been the biggest shift?
100%, yeah. Because, like I said, I was doing things before, but it would be a struggle, or it would be me doing it like in a panicking survival way, and that wasn't the right way to live. But now it's like I don't mind putting myself in the unknown or uncertainty because I know, okay, I can go within, I can get that warm feeling straight away when I do a few of my exercises or my sighing or a few affirmations that I'm used to saying. They can really ground and anchor me in that moment. So I feel like, yeah, I'm equipped now. That's why nothing does seem too overwhelming because I have like my little tool supply with me.
You've replaced your safety bag for your internal tools.
That's totally gone.
Brilliant, brilliant. Would you recommend my coaching and my process?
Oh my God, 1,000,000%. I told you as well, if I could carry you on for the rest of my life, just as a reminder, I would do this over and over again. And obviously, I know it's time for me to start doing it myself in terms of I think I have got the ability to carry on and do this myself. That's how good I feel like you are as a coach. And what's really nice about you, which I've noticed, is you've become a friend. So obviously you're a coach when you need to be. So you're firm and you hold people accountable. And even getting the odd text from you does make you think, oh gosh, he's on to me. Like I better do this, I better do that. Like you have that relationship where it's serious, but then you also know how to convert into a friend. And there's been calls where I've broke down with you, where I've had anxiety and it's been overwhelming, and you know how to switch to being someone that's very compassionate and you don't make anyone feel humiliated. You genuinely became part of my family. You're like a family member to me now. So you have the ability to just tailor your knowledge onto everyone's experience. I feel like I was the only person in your program when I was coached by you. I don't know how you do it, but you seem to be there. Like anytime I message you or anytime I need help or guidance, you're there straight away. But you've got other clients. So I don't know how you manage your time like that. But you make someone feel like they're the only person you're putting your attention into. So you feel very secure and looked after, and you just know that you won't go down that road of slippery anxiety because you're there to pick that person up and guide them back. So 100%, I couldn't recommend it enough. Like it's the best thing, and you always go out of your way as well. So like I said, you tailor it to that person. So if you feel that person needs more on that day or that exposure, you're willing to go out of your limits and help that person and make sure that they achieve what they're saying. You make sure they achieve more, if anything.
Yeah.
I would need 10 interviews to explain the benefit of you as a coach. That's
Oh,
just a snippet.
oh, I appreciate you. And you've been an absolute pleasure as well. And I think for anyone watching this, I haven't done the work for Sarah. Obviously, I've been very attentive and present, but it requires a very dedicated individual to make this process work. It isn't just come in the program and Magnus is going to fix me. You know, Magnus has got a magic wand. You've been on at times 3 calls a week with myself, 3 calls a week, and as well as doing all the
Yeah.
work outside of sessions, exposures, meditations, and everything else, reducing safety behaviors. So that takes time, that takes commitment. And I think people watching this need to know that you might see a massive transformation here, but it hasn't come easy and it hasn't been solely because of my work. It's been because you put the work in. So I just want to say a big well done for you because you've
Oh,
said I need to change. Ramadan's here, the holy month. Something needs to change. You've made it happen. Look at you now, and you're on to do whatever you
yeah.
want.
Yeah. And like just as well, if anyone is thinking, oh, she's probably got time to do that. Like I've got a full-time job. Like I've got a very big extended family. I'm married. I've got a life outside of this recovery program. But it has to be priority. You have to literally do things every single day, whether that's like the regulations or the verbal affirmations and everything. But you have to show up for yourself every day. Um, as well as like the physical exposures, obviously. But whatever you put in, you're gonna see.
Does this process work?
1,000,000%. Look
Does
at me. Look at everyone.
you've seen a lot of people in the group as well transform?
Yeah, yeah, it's been amazing. I've made like friends for life, connections for life. I think when I joined, I said to you, I'm not interested in the group. I just want to work one to one with you. And you were like very adamant. You were like, no, this group's really good. You just give it a go. Like you'll really connect with them. And in my head, I just thought, yeah, like I'm not really bothered about anyone else's journey at the moment. Not in a disrespectful way. I just thought, you know what? I just need to focus on myself. I don't need to make friends with people at the moment. I need to just get better. The day I went into that group and the first group call I had with you, you made me do an exposure. You made me leave my safety bag at home. And I remember, and I told Will about this as well. The first day I joined, I wrote on the group, guys, are you sure? Because I'm feeling a bit weird about leaving my bag. And I remember Will replied, John replied, so many people straight away just got back to me and gave me that encouragement. And that's when I thought, you know what, these people are there for me. Like, I didn't even know them and they're there for me and they got me through that day. And then it's just amazing how you build connections. And I genuinely have connected with every single person I've met, and I genuinely have love and respect for them. And I've met some of them, and my intention is to go around the world and meet them all.
I'm the same. I'm the same. I want to meet everyone, and I want to meet you again as
Yeah.
well. We had
Oh,
a
100%. That's not a question.
That's going to happen next time I'm back. But it was so nice. We had a really nice meal in was it Ilford? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you what, that food was delicious. And I could have stayed longer as well. I genuinely that was weird as well because I've never met your family. I've never met John in person as well with his partner. And I genuinely thought, oh, we ended now. And hours went by and it felt like nothing. And me and Luna had the best time. So I'm really grateful for your family's hospitality. They're very hospitable people.
My mum and dad had to get a train home, so that's why it was cut short. When we say cut short, we had the whole day together. But yeah, like next, my mum was saying when we got to the restaurant, like why are they not coming to the house? Like why are we not doing a host? Like why are we not making like a nice spread for these amazing people? And I was like, Mum, chill. Let's just meet them first. Let's have a relaxed day today, and then obviously next time we can definitely do something more personal. But I think when you left, she's already got dates in the diary with you, so you're definitely going to be coming. And like I said, like I'm not just saying it. Like I finished the program and I'm still in touch with you. Like I have an intention to remain friends and have that support as a friend. And obviously, yeah, like you've gained a massive family in all of us.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's everything that I wanted to cover and ask you about. Is there anything else that
Okay.
you feel like we need to cover, or is there any other statements or anything you want to leave with people watching?
Do you know what? That's what I mean. I feel like my interview would literally be 10 hours long because there's so many elements to my journey. But I feel like we've covered it in a general. I feel like people will understand generally like the picture. But yeah, the last thing all I would say is if someone has a gut feeling of I feel like this is not who I am. Like I do feel like I can recover because that's how I felt. I just thought this can't be me. Like this can't, I accepted it, but there was also a conflicting feeling of surely this can't be my life though. Like so I feel like if anyone does have that feeling of like curiosity of, like why am I not fully there? That's because there are pieces missing. And I guarantee you, like, I was someone who thought I knew everything about how anxiety works because I had it for so long. But there were so many pieces missing. I didn't understand, like, how to heal my nervous system. There's only so much mental stuff you can do, but there's physical things you have to feel and connect with your body. So I just feel like if you feel like that, do it because it's life changing and it's for your own quality of life. You're the one that has to wake up with that feeling of anticipation or dread or doom, or you're the one that has to leave something early because you don't want to stay because you can't deal with the feeling. So it's your quality of life. No one else is living your life. So just make that decision for yourself. Put your needs as number one. That's what I did. It didn't matter if someone thought I'm weird or silly for doing this. Like I've done it and I'm so glad I have, and no one will know what you're going through. So only you have that best judgment. And if you have a glimpse of like, yeah, I just need to try this, do it. Just go with that. Take that leap of faith. Because recovery is 100% like doable.
It's very achievable. I'll tell you what, Sarah, it's been a pleasure. And yeah, you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Amazing, Magnus. Yeah, you take care and thank you for everything.
You're welcome. My pleasure. All right. See you in a bit.